Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another live video. So today I got these videos that was going on. First of all, the videos of what was going on, the bingos that they were caught and all that, and also the videos of the prelate. You remember our prelate, yeah, the Methodist prelate. You do remember the tales of the Fulani that was telling him all their plans and they still let him go. You remember, that kid and nap story. So, and he is already also in the news today, and he was good morning, Ife, and he was giving those speech. So I put them in the chat. Good evening, Chinwe. I put them in the chat and in the Telegram channel, so you can have an idea of what is going on there. And the other ones, I posted the link because I couldn't download it, where this evangelist was saying, that everything that is going on is so bad that they need to release their misleader, because only through him that everything will be calm. Good evening. So I think that it's important to share these videos, because when I'm here, I'm talking, it will be like, oh, there's already peace at home. Good evening, Emeka. That there's already peace at home. Why can't you allow peace to reign? Why do you talk about these things as if, I'm making it up? So no. And also, there was a post I made earlier today about a comment somebody left here yesterday. Good evening, Ikechukwu. The person made that comment, and I was looking at that comment for a little bit. Like, it was actually the whole point of the videos I've been making. Is like, it took me from another angle, like, wow, like right there in your face. Like, so I made a post with that picture today, and a lot of people were like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? What are you saying? That kind of a thing. So let me share my screen so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, as always, I always welcome anybody that wants to join. Let me copy the link and share it. So if you want to join, the link is always there, so you can join us and also share your thoughts with us, so we can have more perspectives. Okay, it didn't go through. So this guy was on the broadcast I was doing yesterday, and he made this comment, because I was just kind of deleting, and I saw this comment. I was like, okay. And it was like, all they need is Biafra nation victory over Igbo land. So interesting. Okay. So that's why in this video I'm titling it Igbo versus Biafra, Oh wow, thank you so much. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Alia C, for the thanks. I appreciate that. So, my people, you're welcome once again to my live. Like I said in the title of this video, I said Biafra versus Igbo. And then I want to go on to talk about something else that is not having anything to do with the bingos or, what is going on in Igbo land and with the misleader and all that. But I want to quickly go through this because I saw this comment yesterday and it kind of touched me. And I was like, wow, this is actually the whole thing that we are talking about. And we are actually saying, are you going to be awake and allow something like this to go on? And a lot of people don't understand. And a lot of people see me, for example, that I am the enemy of Ndibo and I don't join them to do what they are doing. And then what are they doing? Hey, Charles, I greet you. So what are they doing actually? What is it that they are doing? You know, he said, they want to go and bring a new country. So why are you not bringing it? What is holding it? What step have you done? And I'm trying to show you guys that everything they told you is a lie. They told you they go here, they went there. They were all doing their own scam. They never got anywhere. Everything was still about Igbo people participating in Nigerian politics, whatever they dream of to have in the Nigerian politics. And there's nothing wrong with that. But taking these whole people and especially the youth on this ride, and promising them all these things, but you're just taking them for a ride. That's what I was just trying to say. I was thinking that if I show them the truth, if I show them, look at what is going on, that they will just understand and just kind of, leave the whole thing for them. But unfortunately, their mind is not programmed like that. So they have been programmed in a way that they would rather perish than reason. But then there's nothing I can do about it. But yesterday, somebody, one of them came to my life and he wrote this thing. It was like, all we need is Biafra nation victory over Igbo land. And I was like, that's actually the whole essence. Because, for example, when they were saying Biafra in the first time, they put other regions that were not Igbo speaking. But since they started doing all this hula balu, all this, their ES and all this thing, where is it happening? It's only happening in Igbo land. So, and if you look at it, it's going to make sense to you, because you remember how they were picking up all the the chiefs and all the elders and doing away with them, and everything that has to do with Ndi or something like that has to be taken away. And it began to make sense. If you remember how Kano was going to this Becheve and forming Jewish, and so the first thing that has to go is being Igbo, your Igbo-ness. And that's why Kano made a broadcast and said, anything Igbo cannot prosper, anything Igbo, and he was saying all those things. So it began to make sense that this is actually where it is all going. So they need to replace Igbo with Biafra. And then the culture, the way they would do things will not be determined with how they, set it up, however, And at the end of the day, the people don't even understand what is coming. But I just wanted to put it out there. Some of them came under the comment and were like, "You came late," as if I'm the one instigating anything. "Oh, your plan will fail," as if I'm the one that wrote this comment. This is just one of the bingo. I just kind of screen grab that comment, because it made a lot of sense. Because if you are having a region, and you are having a language, and you are having a culture, and you have another identity that doesn't have all these things, and you are very happy about this new identity that doesn't have all these other attributes of language, of culture, of a place, a space on the surface of the earth. So you just have to swap it. So when the time comes, because already Igbo is a curse, so there will be nothing like Igbo. So Igbo will be replaced with Biafra, and everywhere that will be Igbo land will become Biafra land. So that's what it means, So I hope that you succeed in your quest, since everybody or the majority is in for it. So, and then maybe by then, your rabbi will be out. Your rabbi will be out, to pray you into your new heaven. Then he will look up onto the Eloha of heaven and call upon him. You'll not be doing all this Igbo tradition that you are doing. You understand? So it made a lot of sense anyway. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Our brother is saying fundraising. Fundraising now, yeah, of course. They always do fundraising, of course. So I don't want to dwell on all this again. Like, if this is what our people want, people from the southeast, you can't stand in the way of the population. So I'm glad that I told them the truth, and I showed them my own proof. If it was not good enough, unfortunately, there was nothing else I could do about it. So I've presented I've presented the point that I have, and there's nothing else I can say right now, Yeah, so moving on, I wanted to share with you this culture that is going on in Becheve. I don't even know if I wrote that Becheve. Um, so they are called money wives. So these are is a culture that is going on in Cross River State. Already, there was a BBC documentary about this thing in 2018 or thereabouts. And in that 2018, they were saying that yeah, the chief that the interview was saying that the whole thing is abolished, that it doesn't happen anymore, that kind of a thing. So there's this brother Tunde Onakoya. So he went there, So I'm going to show you this thing from his Twitter trend. So he went there, Tunde Onakaya. So he went to this place in Becheve. It's a place in Cross River State, It's a village. It's a remote village in Cross River State. So this brother went to Becheve, and what he found out was, unbelievable. That something like this is going on in southern Nigeria, like in southern Nigeria, because normally when you are hearing about underage marriage and all those things, you are looking and thinking about north. But this is going on right here in Cross River State. And these little small pikins, they were given in exchange for small money, like 2,000, like very, very small amount of money. So let's look at what he's saying. He said, I decided to travel down to learn more about how these girls were being, so, they are so small, they will give them over to the person that their parents is owing, like this small one. And then it will now become like property. Say maybe now 5,000 naira, maybe now 2,500 naira. That's all. In Cross River State. And then somebody, a big man, a chief, will now sit down and say, hey, I borrow your family money, and something like that. So the guy is just telling the story, and he went to that place and he showed some picture. Actually, he showed some picture. Hey, good evening, my brother Chimeze. You're
Good
welcome.
evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Good
good evening.
evening, Anna. Mendes, I greet you. You know, no, not another group. This is just like another culture. This is a cultural practice. I just want to talk about something else, because I think we've said we cannot dwell on bingo matter every day. It's draining, like it's really draining. Good evening, Rabio. So this brother is talking about, where he went to, and this was in Cross River State, you know. So you can see he's talking about, he said, this money practice in Becheva, I'm omitting some words. So you know why I'm omitting it, because of censoring. So I mean, you can see it. I hope you are able to read it anyway. Let me know if you're able to read it, or if I should make it bigger. If I should make it bigger. Should I make it bigger? Okay, let me see. The banner is blocking it. Okay. Maybe it's better like this, right? So you can see here, he said, he's saying this money Iyawo practice in Becheve is a cultural issue that is so deeply ingrained in poverty and can only be challenged from within the system. Outsiders attempt to intervene but are hindered by cultural ideology. So this brother, he's an NGO or something like that. So he went there and he said, ending this igbeyawo of little children in these communities is very delicate. You understand? So he traveled to that place through Ibom, and this is one of the girls that he met there. You understand? So he went on to show some of the videos of what is happening, So like all these small girls now, they go just use them collect small money, and this is something that is happening here in Nigeria. Eh? This is something that's happening here in Nigeria, in Cross River State, you know. So they will just, although they are translating it, this is a BBC documentary. I'm not playing it, so you can see that it's a very small village. So most of all these things is they are hiding it under culture. Culture. Bingos, I'm not talking about your matter today. What are you so angry about? My brother, it's not easy to stay on this, it's very draining. And when I see high profile people lending in their support, I don't know, who am I? Like when a whole prelate is kind of playing these mind games, you know. Yeah, so some people want us to talk about what is going on in Abuja. I shared a video of also what is going on, for example, in the US. You don't hear it. There are no bed of roses anywhere. My grandmother would say, even roses have thorns, there's no bed of roses anywhere. And what is going on in that country is unbelievable. People who live there can tell you, is it the one that is happening in school? Is it the one that's happening everywhere, every corner? You know? So what will it take for the governor to intervene? What will it take for and I'm wondering that why do we hide all the bad practices under tradition? Why do we hide all the bad practices under tradition? You go and collect, somebody come and borrow 2,500 naira for you. A little money like that, you know, little money like that. And because of that little money, you will now be holding somebody for all in life. And you are feeling like powerless, that there's nothing you can do about it. What is wrong with we Africans? You go and take small children, eh? You go and take small, say you dey use dem collect money from their papa. So they say this is the only road leading to the community. These are things that happen under our nose that nobody knows about. So, and I feel like these are the kind of things that are supposed to trend, because we are talking about the life of people, generation upon generation. How much is the money that they borrow the chief? Gone, sell. Let there be an NGO that will pay them back so that the children can go back to their school. Wetin happen? When I saw the news, when I saw the news by this our brother, I was really surprised, because you can check the thread on Tunde Onokaya. He's the one that brought the story. So there are more pictures. I don't want to go into it, because of it's not something nice. So, but what I'm taking away from it is, most times people in Nigeria, people in other African places, they are doing tradition, and they refuse to change. They refuse to evolve. And that tradition is always about somebody paying the price for something all their life, and still it doesn't touch their heart. It doesn't touch their heart. It doesn't touch their heart. Very soon, this Biafra will turn to a tradition, and they will be doing the Biafra thing as a tradition. And people, it doesn't matter how many people that will waste in it, they will continue to do it. So I just say, let me share this story with you, because I feel like they are just hiding under tradition. Why will you go and be taking small picking like this, say they are white because their parents borrowed money that is not up to 10,000 naira in a country like Nigeria at a time like this? And then when they are talking to the men in the community and the chief, they feel powerless, that is their culture. Let me tell you guys, your culture was the lifestyle of your forefathers. Your forefathers. And today you are here in another generation. Why can't you make your own new law for this generation? My brother, you're welcome. Unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Good evening to all listening to Blessedom and Okoma, good evening, especially to you and Ijele. It's good you bring up various topics. So, like you rightly said, the issue is they always had under culture and religion to, carry out so many primordial acts or things that were practiced in Stone Age.
Yeah.
You've always said this, which I've come completely to agree. We must evolve as a people.
Yeah, we need to. We
And
need to.
and this points down to the fact that the local government is failing because this thing happens within a local environment. That environment falls within a local government.
Yeah.
So if not for that brother who did the video or investigated it, the
Yeah.
rest of us will still remain in the
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
But now that village, that environment, that local government, they're in the know of what is happening, but they don't want to do anything about it. And like you already said, this is 2022.
Yeah.
There should be no reason, because in honesty, that is slavery. Not even that is it is what it is. It's slavery. Because
That
at
one
the
is
end of the
even
day,
worse because, like, they said that they can't even go back to their families. Let's assume maybe the person self died, for example, the passes after burial. They can't even say, okay, I'm free now. No, they are like, I don't know
that,
who
that
developed this kind of things.
that's the issue, and there are so much or so many of such practices as well that is abounds within Nigeria. So it is something the local government, the chief, the community, the people of the neighboring village, or even the immediate community who still practice these things to begin to ask themselves some conscious questions. Yes, poverty, they can hinge that on poverty, but again, the local government, the councillors are failing because the councillors cannot claim not to know what is happening. Or if we try to look deeper, members of the state of assemblies, they should have this knowledge
Mm.
because that particular community does not stay on its own in isolation. It falls
No.
within a constituency, of a local assembly. Same, it falls under a federal and the
Yeah.
senatorial zone. So these are areas where the state assemblies need to look into. And like I always argue this, most people, I wouldn't say because of the way things are being done,
Yeah.
but from the best of my knowledge via exposure, local government, governance centers on the local government, you know, because at the federal level, there's nothing more or less they can do rather than to, look at holistic things. But when it comes to implementing things within the local level, that falls within your councillors,
Yeah.
that falls within your local assembly. On the state level, that falls within the state of assembly.
Yeah.
So now the question is, what are they doing about it? How many people are in the know that are willing to come up to say, listen, this is what is going on? And same cuts across, there's so much practices, that varies in nature, but at the end of the day is dehumanizing.
Yeah.
Like the other time we try to touch base on disinheriting a widow in Igbo
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
All these things boils down to what we need to look at in today's day and age. We must modify it. We must try to see how we can live in our own present time, because the time of my forefathers, or I'm not even saying my forefather, because I met my grandfather. In their own time, the highest luxury they had was bicycle horse. I don't know if you remember that bicycle. They call it bicycle horse, you know. Then in the villages, you know, if you have it 2 or 3, you're one of the top guns. Before they started, my father's generation, they started having Beetle and, you know,
Yeah.
Peugeot 504 and the likes. But today, the case is different, you know. The
Yeah.
case is different. So we live in a different time.
Yeah.
But,
You know, me personally, I had experience with something like that. Like I witnessed it growing up as a child in the village. There were people who were married as children. They were married. I don't know whether they were children, but I know that their families were owing. Their family were owing the person, and then they were brought. Maybe I don't know the age exactly, but they will say they describe them as people who grew in the home of their husband. That's the name they will be calling them. That they grow up in the Otoronahudi or something like that, you know. So um they say that, for example, maybe they were owing or whatever happened, then good evening, Oluchi, and they will bring the person to the family there. So the person will be there. You will not even know that, you know, you'll be going message, doing everything. And then when the time comes, he's not going anywhere again. From there, he don't marry, be that. From there, he will try to have his own child and all those things. And
yeah.
the one that witnessed was the one that was my classmate. That one is like a child, like we were in primary school together. And then her parents came to borrow money from that my neighbor in my village, and it was a woman, you know. And the woman gave the parents the money, and when it was time for the parents to pay, they couldn't pay the money. And you understand, they couldn't pay the money, or they didn't have the means. And this woman at that time, she had her children were grown up, and she was a chief, like she was a big woman. And they brought that girl to be living with her in, instead of them to pay the money, you know. So I used to ask her, like, how long is she going to stay, you know? But she doesn't know. But what she does in the morning, like every other child back then in my village, everybody used to go to school every month, every day we go to school. And then when she's coming back, then she will be doing other errands. She didn't have so much luxury like me, that I can feel like lying, that I can feel like playing. So she had responsibility. She has to go to the farm every day. She have to, you know, something like that. She was like there the whole time. So after I finished primary school and all those things, then later on, years later, you know, that lady was always in my mind. And I asked after her, you know. I, I asked her, I asked someone in our class, like, what about this lady? And he was like, oh, she's married, you know. So apparently she was there until she grew up to become a young lady, like in her late teens, and then she married from there. Like, you know, she was almost like a house, but she was not related to them, and it was not marriage, but there's a way they express it, that they use it to how to exchange for money. You understand? And everybody in the community know it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
we
So
have a lot to do as a
I
people.
don't know why our cultures have to be something that is taking us back. Nobody say we should not have culture, but all the culture that we practice, that we want to engage in, that we want to hold on to, they are not culture that elevates, that add value, that we expect. You understand? You know, in this time and age, you know.
Yeah, because you know, most of these communities, um, they don't want to have this conversation, and rather than the so-called churches to look deep areas we need to have conversation, their interest is to be going around people's compound looking for hatchery to cut down. That is what is holding
Eh,
progress. You know, looking for, you know, whatever ancestral, whatever. Whereas, as a human being, collectively we can say, no, this particular sort of culture is outdated. It has no place in this modern day and age. And another thing is who will champion it.
Who will champion it? That's the thing. Because if you come out that you want to champion, they will be looking at you that you want to spoil something. You are against the village. Like, for example, look at us here. Like, every one of us here that supports me, that is here on this page, is obviously seen as the one that is an enemy of the people. I remember, I want to play this video for you guys again. You remember the video of the women that when Simon Ekpa was doing, I don't know why this video is not connecting. When Simon Ekpa, yeah, it's showing now. When Simon Ekpa was doing his, was it fundraising that he was doing or whatever? Like they said, he's doing fundraising right now. And I also shared with you the video.
Blessedom. That shouldn't take you by surprise. Those of us who live in America and Europe and elsewhere, this is month-end, so most people have got their paycheck. So he's targeting
one guy.
The calendar. It's like few persons back home now. They've realized the best time to call is towards the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah. So he knows what he's doing. He's just a con man. He's a con man from Nnamdi, so he knows when to call for fundraising.
Yeah. So I wanted to play this video again for you guys.
Right, let the spirit of the God in the land rise up. There's so many explosives out there. We have young children that even in elementary school who can build an aeroplane and it will fly. Who can build...
Mind you, she's in America. She's in the US.
And she's a mother.
She's a mother. She's in the US. And this is what she's planning for the children in the village.
And she will.
Now, those children in the village, what will it cost to elevate them? Now, if you can come together and do fundraising, why can't it be for something that can uplift?
Not just the mother.
So eager for something that spoil everything.
But by her age, she can equally be a grandmother.
Right? Okay, let me play it again.
There's so many explosives out there. We have young children that even in elementary school who can build an aeroplane and it will fly.
So I wanted to show you this video again. She said that there are so many bang bang there, and there are those ones even in primary school. They can build aeroplane and it will fly. Why can't they use empty bottles in the house? That their leader said it. That their leader said it. That their misleader said it. So some people will be saying that this man did not do anything wrong. And we are saying he did so many wrongs. At least allow him to answer for them. Allow him to even go before the court and explain his motive. Why will he do something like this? They say he did not do anything. But look, listen to what this woman is saying. He said there are so many small children. So this is the kind of thing that we are easy to key into, because destruction is easy, really. To bring something down, to spoil something is easy. But to build, you have to be strategic. You have to invest time, money, energy, like all these small guests now. The person that wants to go and rescue them from that Becheve village, it's very easy. It's not very easy. I mean, you have to think of their food, their school, their clothing, all these things. And then before they will now become adults, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of intent. It takes a lot of effort. So the easiest thing is to look away and look at them. Okay, now their own be that. And everybody just looks away. And when you are trying to point it out, they will say, oh, you are enemy of the governor, you are enemy of the councillor, oh, you want to talk bad about the local government chairman, oh, you want to bring down the senator representing this district. That's the only way they look at it. So nobody's looking about the collective good. And that's why we'll see things like this continue. How can this woman say something like this and they say they didn't do anything? Huh?
Blessedom, let me use this phrase.
Wait, just a second.
Use empty bottles in the house, and this is guerrilla warfare. Our leader said it. The Amazonians never spared any saboteur. Biafra rise up and go against and get the saboteurs down. Period. If it's if it's me, get me down. If it is Chike, get him down. If it is Omahi, idiot in Imo State, what is his name? Hopeless Uzadima. Get them down. That is the period we are now. That is why Ambazonians are where they are today. They never spared any saboteur.
So where are they today? Where are the Ambazonia today? you can continue, my brother.
You see, Blessedom, there's a saying that goes this way: God for us all, everybody to himself. Whoever is sleeping, the devil take him. That is just the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria. Now, I've just come to accept that this is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because each time you watch, I see interviews, like there's one on our brother Charles Okoye wall. These are prominent Southeasterners.
Yeah.
Claiming this guy did nothing.
Yeah.
So you and I can attest that those who were those who has the political power, are dragging their foot and saying otherwise.
And saying he didn't do anything.
Like this woman now, she's safe in America somewhere, saying what she's saying. Now, if they are the saboteurs, get them down.
Yeah.
So who is she endangering? Those in the local community. But anyway, like you rightly said earlier on, this is more like a brain drain discussion.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we would find ourselves in the position the North found themselves.
Yeah.
And one of the challenges is there's no, lesson learned, there's no log lessons.
Yeah.
Say, for example, 2015, I personally saw how most northern governors were making some reckless statements here and there.
Yeah.
2022, 7 years down the line, they found themselves in a position that even the likes of El-Rufai was crying out.
Yeah, he was even saying carpets, everything,
so maybe.
But at first he was saying, go and pay them money and pacify them,
El-Rufai even said he paid them. The governor of Bauchi, I'm not trying to distract the whole conversation. But
no, you are right.
The elite, when you see them, okay, that man that gave that interview, I don't know if you come across it. Probably he's a Southeasterner, but I don't know his state.
Yeah.
Did you not see how? I don't want to become insensitive to families that have lost their loved ones or trying to like them. But at least with some, I have seen prominent names, doctors, even multi-millionaires, people that own company that can employ.
Yeah.
People that wealth create. People that the community, like I've always said in Nigeria.
Like that man that was going back to Port Harcourt, right?
Or former. I don't want to mention their names. So I don't, because like I said, I don't want to be insensitive to families. I don't want to be mentioning their names, but at least we've seen people that most people have this experience when their breadwinner or their sponsor passes on, they are stuck with whatever they There are people on scholarship, there are women, they are being looked after, there are, foundations, or at least in their own way of doing their own charity. There are people that from his community that can be calling him up for help, and he's always come through for them. We have this experience. Most times, our parents run into hard times. There's no social compact program in place. All they need to do is to look out for the next member from the community who they can, reach out to, that please help my son. He's struggling with this. That's the truth on ground. But it seems those who should speak the truth are playing the ostrich. Who am I? Who am I? Now when they grant these interviews, all these trucks that are being burnt, even from last year, the one at Nsoka carrying motorcycle spare parts, burnt to ashes, they didn't see it. Probably it is only myself that sees all these things, they don't see it. So Blessedom, you know what? Let's not speak about these guys again, because at the end of the day, let's not speak about them again, because it is more disappointing when you see people that should call a spade a spade. I don't want to speak about these guys again, because at the end of the day, whatever the Southeasterners want, when it comes, it is on every roof.
Yeah, so I want to show you guys this video of she made sure that where the ambassadors are now. And I've showed you videos of the jamboree they do when they say they go to the UN, and they just went there to do a meeting in front of the building. But I want to show you this video again, so that you can see when Ambazonian people went to the United Nations. So I will play the video a little bit now so you can see it.
The action of human movement to take form. Thank you, Mr. President. We thank the High Commissioner for his report. Mr. President, West Cameroon has been under the violent colonial occupation of the Republic of Cameroon, which has continuously tried to assimilate and
Are you seeing it?
The indigenous people of this territory since 1961. In response, West Cameroonians have for decades made various peaceful and successful efforts to procure their freedom.
You're welcome.
Being made by violent military repression. The ongoing genocide is the fifth and most deadly cycle of brutal repression.
Sure, you people don't see how it a bit to go UN, and this is where they are now. And what did the UN Commission tell them? That they should go and make peace with their brothers. After every.
2003-2010. The ongoing widespread targeted Cameroon's military and civil
you see, they say you message. Look at the people he's talking to. Are you seeing who is listening to this thing he's reading?
And flow of humanitarian support, installation of the United Nations administration. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Shebi, they say thank you very much. You don't do. What else did they tell? The end was go and settle with your brothers. So you people that are looking at UN every day, UN, when I see on a mate will go UN. You actually see him is the way President Buhari will go and he will have people talking. That I keep telling you guys, but you people say no. You say it's not my kind of UN. That his own is different. Look at people that went to the UN, how it looks like.
Let's not even mention Southern Cameroon. They should look at Ukraine and Russia.
No, this is Southern Cameroon now.
No, I mean those of them who think it's something to be proud of. Let them look at what is happening between Ukraine and Russia. The war is moving on. Everyone is readjusting.
Yeah.
Everyone is readjusting the best way they can. Everyone is looking elsewhere how to source,
Mm-hmm. Did you see that they can't even wait for him to finish. They read. He won't come, they read. Now that one they come, they walk. That like, are you the only people in the world? If you want to buy on us, who send on a message? They thought on a IDP. Just let me tell you guys, there's nothing new. Say on a buy on ourselves, on a they suffer on ourselves. Then they look on us, say all those are waiting again. They know. Because we never feel do waiting go good for us. A country with all the resources, we no feel employer for anything. Not only to buy ourselves, now we they work. I'm showing you this thing directly from Facebook. I didn't even download it. So yeah, they will tell you that they went to the UN. You know how they go UN, how they go US.
When them take you back.
Sorry. So they will tell you that they went to the UN, they went to the US. Not like this. So I've shown you all this thing before. So these wives that these men are taking, the governor needs to call attention to it and do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people in our own regions, in remote villages, that this thing, I'm very sure, because how long ago was I a child? If something like that can happen, I'm sure there are people who owe people money, and they can actually say, okay, go and be living with them in exchange for the money, but We don't want to talk about anything that will uplift, because we're not talking about, look, for example, look at the flood, you know. And like, for example, me now, if I want to do something, I will say, okay, I want to have maybe a foundation, and maybe through that foundation we can do something, you know. But I don't know whether, you know, it will be possible, whether the people will be possible to work with, whether they will be after to just steal the money, they will not intervene, you know.
You know, one thing I've realized as a Nigerian, us Nigerians, we are quick to always cry that the country is dysfunctional, the country is not up to its potential, but without taking into account that it is a Nigerian and Nigerians that make what Nigeria is.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know how else to say this. You know, at the end of the day, the community has to take the lead.
Yeah,
The
and I
community has to take
posted
the lead.
some videos in the WhatsApp group today, showing you what this video I showed you is in one part of US, so just in one district, just in one section, like in one state, like, we are not talking about other parts of the country, oh, you know. And I also posted for you the prognosis that inflation is coming, recession is going to hit. So a lot of people are happy that the country that you are living there now, like, if I am pushing you to spoil everything where you are, that is normally very selfish of me. But there's a reverse psychology going on, that I'm telling them, don't do that. They are seeing me as the bad one. You know, they will say, come back to this Nigeria. Do you know how hard it is? But these other women that are telling you, gather the children, give them bottle, it's a guerrilla warfare, they are also living in abroad. But you don't make the connection. You think, oh, they care for you so much, that's why they want you to spoil where you are. You forget that they have citizenship, they have houses, they are living like people who live in Ikoyi. They live in their own houses, especially those in the US. They live in their own houses, they are living fine. And they'll go and gather like this women. They now say, we have so many children, even in primary school, they can go and take bottle from their house, because it's very easy to spoil. And you in your village, if you do that, like there was a village that more than 100 people died that day, that they went to collect oil in Eguta. Did anybody talk about it? What about those people that cry? They must have family, they must have children, they must have many things. Nobody talk about it again. You know?
And you know, you see, like I said, this is a vicious cycle. Now, the young children that will be left behind from all this carnage, who is going to look after them?
Yeah, that
They
is
also
another
contract.
vicious cycle of M0n3y.
Now, these people sitting in diaspora, gaslighting these guys and egging them on, they don't have any form of social contract. They don't. In fact, let me say this, which I've said it previously some time ago. Majority of them will come into Nigeria. These guys, they are gaslighting, will not even know they're in town.
No.
And when they are coming, you know, they wouldn't even land at the port of entry to begin to shout their Biafra.
Yeah.
Or even try to show how bold they are by wearing their regalia or anything.
Yeah.
They would keep themselves far away from anything and everything that will point to them that, you know, they are IPOP sympathizers or even IPOB members.
Yeah.
So who is fooling who?
Yeah.
You know, who is fooling who? Like I said, you know, sometimes this hasn't gotten to the point where it needs to get.
No.
Because when they get to the point where it needs to get,
yeah,
when everyone completely surrenders their freedom to this group of criminals, then so be it. Or as they are pushing, if it gets to the point, it becomes tit for tat, or you know, the military decide to play their own kind of game. In fact, I blame the FG. They should have given this guy communion the money they had him. There's no point. Give him Holy Communion.
I don't know. Like me personally, I'm always like, even the people that they say that they are sabo, they don't give them fair trial. You know, they don't even remember that they have rights. Their own is ozubo. They deal with the person. But then the person that taught them how to do all this thing, is a human being born by a woman, and the other ones are not born by a woman, you know. So anyway, this is where they are now. This is their own understanding. And anything you are trying to talk to them to have reason, they don't like it. So for example, for the first time now, going home for Christmas is not going to be a usual again.
Absolutely.
And then running back home for safety is already out of it, because if anything want to happen now, normally people will carry their bag and start going to the east, like also Abiola. That one is out of the question now, because what you are running from is waiting for you there. Normally, if something is happening in the north, they will be running home. That one is cancelled now. So if anything happening wherever you are, you'll be going, you will rather go to the next neighboring the next neighboring country then. You understand me? Medugri is ready to host them. So by now, Medugri have moved on, but they looked at what happened to the north and it fascinated them so much, and now they want to relive it, you know. And the Nigerian military,
There's a community in Medugri called Baga, I think BAG, Baga community. They used to produce over 3 million metric tons of catfish.
Mm-hmm.
They have a natural lake. I wish people from that community. You see, our people we've not learned anything. But sometimes they say the best way to learn is to learn from other people's mistakes.
No, it's not in our DNA.
Part of you see, people can cry inflation. Part of the high increase in grain was this result of what the North experienced. Majority couldn't go to their farms. Rice farms were abandoned.
And even now, I don't think people can go to their farm because of this bandit of anything, And when I saw that incident the first time, that community got erased. Wow. So our brother is saying something. If there is going to be a military intervention, those are going to be the collateral damages, And everybody saying UN, we like as if they are not seeing what is going on in the Ukraine as we are speaking now, I don't even know that the light is back in the capital city of Kyiv. I know that the light was off for some time back, after that bridge was broken. I don't know that the light is back. So it's going on, their life goes on. People are still crying. Like here, I showed you a video that the people were even saying, "M0n, I can't go because of you people were having difficult time." People that used to be saying, oh, they are running for their life, come, they open door. Now they say, no, they don't want. Go back to Ukraine, whatever. Leave us. We say you should come and lean on us. You want to press us down. Oh yeah, M0n, I can't go. You understand? So if this can be happening to Igbo people, who are you? But they don't care, So you can see the video that Simon Ekpa made. I shared that video. Did I share that video in the chat? I shared it, right? I shared the video. So you can see what Simon Ekpa is still saying at this time. But, I've done my own. I've said what I needed to say. There is no going back. I've laid it out there. And going forward, I'll be talking about other things. I may chip in their things, but, it is what it is. I've been taking out all this insult and all this attack and all this. And then, I mean, when I see people like that prelate and I see these people, people who have a platform of millions that actually
Blessedom. Let me just
bad thing.
Let me say this. I have been in an environment that I will say this has or not. The white people are British, they are not like the best of people. You might think they don't have their own problem. But if it becomes an issue, they own up to it. I'll say, for example, now, the Labour Party had to admit the anti-Semitism, probed it. We saw Jeremy Corbyn, losing out not just as a leader of Labour Party, but then his political career ended completely.
Okay.
There have been other issues like the National Front, the English Defence League, You know, I live in the part of East London which racism is ripe. And for that, they have what they call neighborhood watch. You know, hotlines to call in, patrols, people that live around Hornchurch, you know, Dagenham East, Barking, because my borough is Barking and Dagenham. So these things are there, but they admit it. And they are
Yeah,
fighting.
you know, the aim is always targeting at the population and going back to power. Now the conservative have power, so the Labour will do everything to go back to power. This is the problem we have with our own politicians.
Now,
They don't do what it takes to go back to power.
You know, you could see your local assemblyman, which is a councillor, admitting these things happens. But now, if politicians, so-called senators, the elite, the so-called prelates, these personalities, these authorities, let me just give them that respect, would come before camera to play the ostrich, then blackmailing the federal government from doing what they need to do, without taking, you know, then who am I?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's the premier, how will I say it in English now? Like it depresses somehow, you know, when you see somebody that has that kind of platform of millions, having authority over millions, and he's coming to come and be saying, playing that because an Igbo man, but he was there when this guy was making all these utterances. He didn't say anything. So, you know, who are we? So I find what our sister is writing here very interesting. She said a rumor says that to complete the Baptist church at Abeokuta, Obasanjo's father gave him out as a servant to raise the money to complete it. Many attribute that to OBJ's divine good fortune. Oh, why interesting. So obviously it's something that is also available in many communities, but I think now they are phasing it out, and so the Becheve people also needs to fade it out. Yeah, thank you so much, my people. My brother, you can have the last one. I like what our brother is also saying. He said, "Are they my house? They watch Premier League now. Oyibo no stop ball because of these Ukraine people. World Cup will still go on next one, and nothing will stop her. You have helped a lot. Thank you for acknowledging that." So he said, "I follow their pages, their criminal pages, and notice their followers have reduced." Okay. Oh. It's because of people like you. You have typical Nigerian man, they arrogant. So okay, then no go one do like say now you open their eye, they go still one form last fight. Thank you for that.
Yeah. In closing, this started 1999. It cost us the census. 2006, we did not participate. Now, we are still on it. And I've come to realize better now. I've come to understand better. These things are still going on because of the political class, the elite, those who should take the lead to say enough is enough. Those who should call a spade a spade. Rather, when you see them blackmailing a governor like Obus or them, that is even trying to fight these guys. I can remember last year when he brought in the Air Force, you know, you could even see politicians, you know, trying to blackmail him that is killing Igbo youth, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day the politicians will wake up to call a spade, then we would all begin to know that the end is near. Otherwise, like you always say, the next population has been contaminated. This will go on. God knows when it will end.
Yeah. Anyway, we can also help them. Like our brother is saying, we can open a GoFundMe account for the unconditional release of Kano with its actualization of Biafra. What do you think?
Possible, like you said, I want Biafra.
Let us put hands together and help them to want this thing. We cannot come and suffer alone. Wait till happen.
If a full Igbo elite would pretend to cry crocodile tears on national television, then how can Nnamdi represent that has gone on in the southeast? Then what are your senators and local government chairman and governors doing?
And then when other people say, just a minute, I'm still going to let you continue. And when other people say Igbo people are Boko Haram, you say, they are not. Why they did not say every Hausa is Boko Haram? But you are on the one hand making every Igbo Boko Haram IPOP terror, and the other hand saying Igbo is not the same.
You see, the DSS, they need to, let me not say they need to sit up, but they need to keep their eyes on social media. Because one of the things MI5 does well, they follow most notorious pages in the UK. And the National Crime Agency as well. They follow virtually every social media page. Now, that man did say on his way somewhere within Anambra, he was stopped. His driver passed on. His driver passed out. Sorry. He said they recognized him that's been defending him. They cannot. Thank for defending him. And for him to say, where pained me as a person, for him to say that, that he asked him about the buying. They said no, it's awful, and they are searching every vehicle to make sure people are not infiltrating. One, Nigeria is a sovereign country. What gives this group the right to begin to stop vehicles on a highway to begin to ascertain people's identity? Now, let them understand the North is educated. They have educated people. Now, if they begin to apply the same measure, that man does even understand that his statement is directly putting people on harm's way.
Yeah.
This is the era of social media, not 1970, not 1967, where there's no social media. Dissemination of information is just at the click of a button. Now, why is the SSS or the security agencies not having this man before them for interrogation?
There is somebody telling me that maybe they are trying to avoid making Simon Ekpa again, quote unquote. They are trying to avoid creating another Kano.
I'm talking about the man who appeared on one of the media houses in Nigeria to grant an interview that was crying that Nnamdi Kanu represent everything, blah blah blah. Now, if Nnamdi Kanu represent everything, why have they not called on the so-called governors from the southeast, the senators, to ask them to resign? That Nnamdi Kanu come and become the governor of Abia State. You don't need to contest election. Unopposed, no political party, just only you. Let me use this word: independent candidates. Why? Let's come to that agreement. But you see these people trying to push out a dangerous narrative to suit their political contractors who are causing everyone a distraction. If truly this guy represents everything, then he's from Abia State. TALG represents his senatorial zone like myself. TALG, please resign. Let Nnamdi Kanu become the next senator of Abia North Central.
They will get to that. They will get to that. So that's why I'm showing this post again. I showed it in the beginning. The guy said all they now need is for Biafra nation to have victory over Igbo land. It's coming. And I put it up because of Duxie Love is saying Biafra has nothing to do with Igbo. Why have they included Igbo to this Biafra nonsense? So this is it. So this is the end game.
I wish the government would do the suggestion of Ijele. Let them begin to withdraw every security personnel from all these so-called VIPs.
And apart from that, in the comment section where that prelate was saying that thing that he was saying, I posted that video. You needed to see the comments. They were actually already implying what you are saying. Although me, I will not say it with my mouth, but they were already implying it as a way to make the governors to do more,
My sister, thank you so much, and
thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, so my people, in closing, I don't know this Becheve, and I hope that the governor is watching, that they can do something about these children, about what they are passing through, that the practice should stop, and why all this thing is happening. That's why I'm of the opinion that an important part of this campaign should be welfare for Nigerians. And when Nigerians have welfare, this kind of thing will not happen. Because you will not, because of small money or something like that, you not carry your pikin go give big man where they your village, you know, and it go turn to a property. No, 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 no. So because of no welfare, you don't know where the next meal is coming. That is something. And by the time the government start doing welfare, that's when they actually start intervening in the life of the people. All this school, they build school, they are all good, they are all important, but somebody is not going to eat school. Somebody is not going to dress with school. So people need something else, and that welfare should come with basic health center. Maybe health center you put, even if it's a nurse, even if it is one nurse and one, maybe five nurse, four nurse with two doctors on the payroll of the governor in every community like that. So people can access quick healthcare and people can have some basic food. This is what people need now. All these projects, you can see, for example, this current president, he's building so much infrastructure, but the people are not feeling it. Why? Because they are hungry, because they don't know where the next meal will come, and because all this insecurity is there because of all this. Because when you don't know where your next meal will come, when you don't know if your mother is sick, you have medicine for her, you become that desperate. I feel like this is one of the things that also needs to happen. Of course, they are not going to happen in isolation, and we would also hope that the judiciary will get their game together, so that if somebody does something, he will have to answer for what he did. He will have to answer for what he did. If somebody does something, we have to answer for what he did. And that way, when you know that if you do something, you answer for it, all these things will be coming down. Yeah, so thank you so much, my people. Like I said, we've been dwelling so much on this bingoism and all their activities, and we never get anything in return other than more hate and more vitriol. So, and like I also said, when I saw big players like this Chief Chukasin that said they ran into the ongoing M0n3y and his driver, passed out because he was afraid. And then they recognize him and they say, oh, they see him on TV and they hear all the things he's doing. And that was his saving grace. Let me tell you guys, that guy is being very selfish because he himself is safe. He's safe because they know him, they have seen him. But there are also other big men like him who may not be known to these boys and who don't know, whatever is going on. They haven't seen them on television, and that would have been their end. So at the end of the day, I don't know about when, it was very localized and it was regional at the time. And, there were less population. People were removed. Most people were able to feed themselves. I remember when I was in the village, what we needed to buy most times were like rice, like meat, most things we had, like gari, cassava, corn, vegetables we had. We didn't need to buy. We even used to sell excess. So like when we have excess, pepper, tomato, we barely needed to go and buy because we always had, But these days, everybody is, gathered in cities. The people don't do anything farming, and actually, our people look at farming as a waste of time, as suffering. So, like I say, a lot of people, when their mom wants to go, say they want to farm, they see it as suffering. So there's no value in that. So, and what that means is that the food that we are eating, that our people eat in the Southeast, is coming from somewhere else because, people are not engaging in agricultural activities mainly. And when they do, it's just subsistence, just for your own consumption. It's not for selling. It's not for, and the government is not doing any subvention for people who are going to farm, maybe to help them to live there so that there can be food production, so that they can have food security. They don't even have idea of that one. That's why when I look at them, when they are talking about this, I'll just be looking at that. We want to go. They think it's a shop. They will just go and open it and sit down and wait for customers. They don't understand. But you won't blame them because the leaders, the political elites, don't understand. So yeah, it is the reality that we have to live with. That for the first time, the going home is no longer what it used to be. You cannot just pack your bag and go home. You cannot just say, while a day here, you want to go home. That one is out of it. So until there is peace again before you can talk about a Corona, because so many people that try to do that, they have lost out now. Their investment is gone. Most of them wasted, and it is what it is. So we have done what we could do, and as all this thing is going, life is going on. Other people are moving on. Things are going on. Life is going on. Government is going on. Election is happening. Sports is going on. So if you are there, that's where you are. That's where they want to be. Then let them enjoy their party. And so we will continue from time to we are going to be putting mouth in their things, but we have to also talk about other things that is going on. Huh? You say people should challenge this foolish attitude towards agriculture. It's because the value you get for agriculture. You work so hard, it's very laborious, and then how much you get is not so much. When you produce so much at the same time, you have to sell it off at low prices, otherwise they will spoil in your hands. There are no storage facilities, there are no processing plants. So it becomes a burden. So, and for people that like the bling bling bling, that they need to have it big big, so um it becomes not inviting, not interesting for them. So for all of us, it's more interesting to go to China, buy finished products and come and sell. So everybody open shop, we want to sell something. But agriculture is actually production. So when people are talking about production, they don't even know that agriculture is part of the production. So, but when I was in the Southeast, I didn't see mechanized agriculture. I only saw mechanized agriculture in the Southwest, in a small scale, not even a very large scale. But there was most people just had their own farms, subsistence agriculture, plant your yam, your rice, no, we don't even have rice. Planted yam, cocoa yam, plantain, corn, okra, vegetables, those kind of things. So I don't know. But there will be no room for that now. Which farm you want to go when they are waiting for you? All the women, the young girls, they are, you don't know what is going on. No, so you can't, that one is even out of the question for now. So yeah, we just have to give it time for everything to climax. Yeah. Thank you, my people. God bless you all. Thank you so much for every one of you that sent me stars. When I'm using StreamYard, I can't see it. But when I go over to Facebook, I'll be able to look at it and say my thanks. And I also appreciate my brother that sent me thanks from YouTube. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah. The one of Ono. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.